Welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. My name's Mark, and today we're going to talk about how we keep an eye on our animals, from our mama goats kidding out in the barn to predators such as foxes, coyotes, wolves, and even cougars can come through. So we use real-link cameras quite often here on the farm for various different purposes. And they have a new camera that has now come out. It's pretty exciting. It's a new line of cameras. And to speak about it, we have our product subject expert here to fill you in on it. You all ready? Thank you, Mark. All right, take it away. You bet. Ready to go. All right, so we have the new camera here that came out, and this is made by Real-Link, and it is the Keen Ranger PT. Now, what sets this camera apart from others is this doesn't use Wi-Fi, so this actually uses a SIM card, same kind of SIM card that you would have in your phone, in your smartphone. So this works in areas that are isolated. Maybe you have a large farm, or maybe you're out checking wildlife out in the bush. So you can hook this thing up to a SIM card, get a data plan, many different data plans out there, plug it in, and it does also record. So we're going to get into the unboxing here, and then we'll talk about the specs. So this camera just came out today, June 28th. And it is something that has come out in the past, but this one is kind of a new and improved version, and we'll get into that with the specs. So the first thing we see here is the antenna. So if you've had a Real-Link camera before, you'll notice they're just a small little stubby one. This one, because of the range, you want to ensure that you do get footage and coverage, and you're able to communicate with it. It does have quite a large antenna, and you'll also notice that it is camouflage, which is kind of nice. So we'll just take off this little sticky here. So it is, camouflage. It blends beautifully into a tree. We used it out back in the farm here, and I think it was an oak tree that I put it on, and it looked really good. So it blended right in, you couldn't even see it. And this camera will just go on here, and we'll get to that in a second here. Now, how to mount this, it does come with this connector here. You can hook it on a few different ways. So it does have a slide connector. This is kind of standard to the Real-Link 2K PT, if you've ever used that, or they've got a 1080 model. It has this little adapter that comes out, connects to the camera, and then just slides in and snaps into place. So you can actually screw this right up underneath the soffit. If you want more of a permanent mounting, then you can just take and screw this right into the bottom here, just like that. And then it will snap, this will snap into this as well. So you can mount it this way directly up, or you can go and you can mount this with screw holes in the back here to something. And then you just go and you pop that in and you snap it into place, and away you go. So there it is. Now to release it, you just push this little guy up top here, and this is the same as the other if you've dealt with Real-Link before with their cameras. So the other way to attach it, it comes with this I don't know, a lanyard, a strap, and what that does is it mounts right to the back of this, so you can actually put it around a tree and then fasten it into position. You can adjust it back and forth depending on where you are. Now also it does have pan and tilt, so you can connect through the Real-Link app, and it will actually move back and forth. So you can change a few different things depending on how it's situated. It can be in a number of different areas. You can flip the view so it's not upside down, of course, but mainly its use is in this direction here. You can pan up, pan down, and it is a 2K, which is, I believe it's called Quad HD, all these different HDs. All right, so then you get a charging cable here, which this does charge. It's the same way as the other ones. It charges with a micro USB to USB. Comes with a couple anchors if you want to permanently mount it. Also the screws, and then also your little push pin to reset the unit. Maybe you've had it on the shelf for a little while. I can't remember what your password was. You want to hook that back up. These tools are quite handy. Same tool as on a smartphone. So if you have a smartphone, you can actually use that with it. Now, since it's out in the wild, so to speak, there's not going to be any power out there. So when I ran the test on this, I had it out back for about a week. Now, I didn't get a lot of action back there, but I was probably about 80 to 85% power still left. Of course, if it's in an area with a lot of traffic, we have a train that runs the back of the property here. You want to make sure it's not pointing towards something that's going to be moving. Also trees. It does very well in objects moving in the distance, and it can distinguish between humans and vehicles, which is nice when you're going and reviewing the footage. You can check to see when there was an animal, a human, a person. It'll give you a little icon down at the bottom. Now, this is the solar panel. So it will hook up, just like the other ones. It has a screw mount here at the back, and then you've got quite a long cable here with a weather shielding on the back. So you plug that in, and then this just goes right over top of it to make sure it's completely waterproof. Now, the mounting bracket is right here. So this one you will actually have to mount securely with screws. So this comes with your anchors and your screws. You can even just prop it into a tree and strap it down. You can use elastics, you can use bungees. There's a lot of different ways that I have mounted these in the past. And that just screws right onto the back, and then you, of course, want to point it to the south so that you get the sun, keeping trees and the shade in mind when you do that. All right, so this camera here is, it comes with a micro SD card, and you basically just rotate back, and you've got a little opening here where you can put in your two cards. Very easy to operate. You just download the Reolink app, and as I have in my app, I've got multiple cameras, so I can bring up all the cameras in my yard. It also has notifications, so depending on your usage, if you want to get some notifications, say you're using it as a security camera, you have a farmyard and the front gate isn't accessible by Wi-Fi, use the SIM card feature in this, and it will send you notifications through the app as well as email notifications. So something else that it has is what's called invisible IR, infrared lighting. So it does have night vision. Now I tested this out and it was quite dark and I couldn't see the IR lights. And usually from a night vision camera, you can clearly see it. As soon as it detects you, those red lights light up. And that can scare animals. So what I found was when I approached it, I had to get right up on this camera to even see the red lights. So they're a 940 nanometer IR, and they call them the invisible IR, and they are quite invisible. It also has a cross detection of 90 degrees. Just another spec on there, so it'll pick you up, and again, it will send you a notification if you have the app. So as I was mentioning, this camera is 2K, which is Quad HD, which is 1440 lines of resolution up and down. I believe it runs at about 3.6 megabits per second, which is 3,600 kilobits a second for the data rate. Just a little bit of specs on that. So this is the new Reolink Keen camera, the Ranger PT. I have provided a link down in the description if you want more information on it, or if you'd like to purchase something on it. Now, if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them down below in the comment section, and we'll get back to you on that. Take care, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.